All right, so welcome back to the weekly Forex cast. I'm going to be getting into some of these setups to really give a perspective on some of the real swing daily type moves I'm looking for, and just how I view the market when it comes to that, from the higher time frame to the lower time frame, doing a multi-time frame analysis. So as always, I start with the dollar index, and we can see here on this is the monthly chart. All right, this is a key chart for big swing moves. So we see price. Initially, dollar's been in this uptrend from this low. All right, it's been moving in an upward trend, and it made this big pump. All right, so when it made this big pump, it created a higher high, breaking above this level of structure. All right, but we see price came all the way back, retested this level of structure as support. All right, it rejected it as support, and we can see what it did is it printed this big bullish engulfing candle. All right, so for me, that's a strong indication that price is likely to hold this level and give us a bigger move up, possibly back towards this high, possibly. If not, definitely at least pull, correcting some of this before any more bigger drop. All right, because if we look to the left, we do have a major level of supply up here. All right, we do have a major level of supply. So the dollar could possibly set up to come way up here before then having a big fall, or just at least correct some of this before then possibly falling, but just playing it by the next potential moves. So I want to show what we can expect this week first, because this is a monthly chart. So price could pull back some first before continuing up based off of this monthly time frame. Because we got to keep in mind what we got this week. This is a news heavy week. We got the rate statement, cash rate for Australian dollar on Monday to start the week. We got Powell speaking Tuesday. That can impact the dollar. Non-farm employment change Wednesday. Rate statement for the Canadian dollar. Powell is speaking again. All right, job openings. Then we got, JPY press conference, the policy statement. So it's going to be likely a real volatile week. NFP Friday, all right, unemployment rate, employment change for the dollar and for the US dollar and Canadian dollar. So we're likely going to see strong volume JPY, dollar, and Australian dollar. Now, JPY, keep in mind, the yen and the dollar tends to trade inverse. So if the dollar sets up for a fall early, we could possibly see some yen strength come in. All right. So let's go down to the smaller time frame. All right. We can see even on the weekly. The weekly is at a level of bearish price structure right here, where price continued down from. All right. So we go down to the daily, and we can see price pushed into this level of supply, and it started rejecting. All right. It started rejecting here. So to start the week, now looking at the 4 hour, to start the week, I am expecting dollar to continue to sell off. You see it pulled up here, basically retested this level that it fell from. All right, had a strong rejection to end the week. And we can see here on the 4 hour, we printed this bearish engulfing candlestick. So in the short term, intraday type play, I expect the dollar to set up for another fall before any more rise. All right, but as it falls, of course, this is a minor level of support you want to pay attention to. But looking at the 4 hour, even looking at the daily, we could possibly see dollar at least come back down into this level, roughly around 104, 103.8 type area. But once it gets if it pulls into this level, that's a level to pay attention to, because looking to the left, this was a previous level of strong demand. All right. So that is a level that it could potentially bounce from, or it could possibly come even lower. But I am expecting the dollar to stay above this higher low. All right, to stay above there, because if we're looking at that based off the monthly bullish engulfing, definitely expecting price to stay above this bullish engulfing candlestick. All right, so any drop this week, I believe is just a drop setting up for the next strong bullish leg in the dollar. All right, and we will possibly get some setups based off of this next potential drop that's coming in the dollar. All right, and we'll cover some of those pairs. So first, starting with GJ, Japanese yen. All right. And it's no coincidence that, let's say, some dollar weakness comes in. All right. The yen setting up for a potential, GJ is setting up for a fall. And if GJ falls, that means yen strength. All right. So we can see this on the weekly. And we can see the type of rejection we got on the weekly. Strong pin bar rejection. All right. And it's pulling from a level of structure. So if we go down to the daily, Boom, we can see this was a previous level of structure. All right. Previous level of structure, strong psychological level. Price found resistance from that level, rejected. So when it rejected, it printed this nice shooting star type candlestick, which is a sign sellers is coming in. Sellers is taking control of this. All right. So coming into this week, I do like to look for potential sell, continue sell, but this is the type of scenario that I would look for. So I will take a counter trend line here. All right. I would either like to see price break below structure here. All right. I would say either wait for price to come down, break structure, possibly get the retest or pullback, and then catch that next wave. Either that or price could possibly pull back a little further, maybe a retest or pull back towards that level of supply again, possibly, and then fall. All right. So either or will be a good potential opportunity. All right. If you get that set up, this could possibly come down to at least, my first target will be somewhere probably around here, 162. But also if I'm looking at around that level of previous resistance. All right. So we can see price pull into this level if it breaks down between 162 and like 161.5-ish type area. All right. Now, of course, if price comes down there and breaks through there, then we're likely going even lower towards 160 or lower. All right, EJ, Euro JPY, similar to GJ. If we look at this on a weekly, all right, price pulled to this level of supply. We always look to the left to go right. This is a previous level. Oops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. But this was a previous level that price fell from in the past, right? Strong bearish engulfing right there. Nice rejection. So it's no coincidence that we at this level and it's starting to find some resistance. You see here on the daily, we even got a rejection. So now this is what I would look for. If I would like to look for a potential sell on this, all right, but I would need to wait for some type of confirmation. All right, so I could take my counter trend line here too. Now looking to the left or just looking at structure overall, you can see the structure level is at. This was a previous level of support, right? This is the key level of structure to pay attention to. Also within this move, this will be our higher low. All right. So I will wait for price to come down. The price comes down and breaks below that structure. That would also likely break the trend line. Then I will look to catch the pullback or the retest and catch that next wave. All right. And then I will look for around this level of support to take it to between 143 and really 142-ish type area. All right. Now, if it came down and broke below that higher low, then that's, you could likely go even lower. All right. So just be patient for that. Either a breakdown or possibly a pullback first. But the strongest confirmation will be waiting for a break of that structure, catch the pullback, and next wave down. GU. So GU ended the week bullish. All right. It came down basically to this level of support. All right. Found support and it bounced. Okay. So looking to the left, it is roughly around this level of demand where price found support and had a big rise. Okay. So it came pretty much just shy of that and it found support. This is pretty much like a triple bottom. You see it found support here, bounced, came back down, bounced again, came back down to end the week, bounced again. All right. So if the dollar continues bearish early, then we could possibly see GU just continue up. This daily candle did just close bullish engulfing. All right. So that could be a possible sign that price probably could pull back first, but it could possibly set up for another continued wave up. All right. It's going to follow the dollar overall. All right. So dollar bearish, then it's likely we're going to see GU pump. Or this could possibly set up to give us another fall first, pull deeper into this level, and then bounce. All right. So we just got to react. Don't want to be too predictive. Just, we're going to react to what price shows us and just take it from there. EU. All right. Oh, yeah, that's actually what I wanted to show, because how I showed you that the dollar index has this big bullish engulfing on the monthly. So it's no coincidence that you see the correlation when you look at the majors. GU has a bearish engulfing on the monthly, right? The bearish engulfing on the monthly on GU, bullish engulfing on the monthly on the dollar. So that's a correlation, because if this is bearish engulfing and this is setting up for a bigger sell, that's going in line with the strength of the dollar. Because if I'm selling GU, I'm buying the dollar. All right, so that's why. Same thing with EU. We got this nice bearish engulfing rejection on the monthly. So I do believe the majors in these pairs are setting up for bigger drops to go in line with the dollar index. But going into this week, we could be seeing those pullbacks happen first before that happens. All right. So if I see that on the monthly, all right, also lining up, because we see here on the monthly, we have been in this downtrend. All right. We've been in this downtrend on the monthly. Looking to the left, even looking at this structure here, you could see that price was here. Right, I could look at this structure level here, this previous level support, strong demand. That's exactly where this candlestick just actually closed below as well. All right, so it pulled a little higher, but you can still see structure. Boom, nice break below that level, setting up for bigger drop, continuing that downtrend. All right, if I see this on the weekly, price pulled up a little higher than this level of support here, but what it did was it came higher and still just rejected a previous level of structure, lower high structure where price fell from before. All right, printed that nice shooting star type rejection and fell down. So definitely believe EU, any buys on EU is short term, setting up for the bigger drop. All right, so keep that in mind. And you really just want to look at this from this perspective. So price did come down roughly into this level of demand or support and found some support here. All right, so it is possibly setting up for a potential pullback. So any pullback, I believe, is setting up for the bigger drop. All right, so I would either look for possibly a bigger pullback, all right, before any more sales, or wait for price to break structure here. And that's going to be the opportunity to catch that bigger wave to the downside. Because once we break that higher low, it's likely we having a bigger fall, especially based off the monthly. All right, we could see my first nice target would probably be somewhere around, well, it's actually roughly there now. That's another thing to pay attention to. Where price is hovering around, right around there, where it found support, is looking to the left. This was previous level of demand. All right, so once price break that structure, it's lining up with even breaking that strong level of demand, and then it's likely going to come back down towards these lows and possibly make another low. All right, so that's EU. AU, same thing. We could see bearish engulfing on the monthly, right? So it's likely any buys is probably just going to be a pullback to set up for the bigger drop. So we could look at the weekly. We had a nice breakdown. All right, but this has been in the downtrend if we look at this on a weekly too. So we go down to the daily. So price is at a level of support. We are at a level of support, minor support here, where price found support in the past. All right, same thing here. Price found support. So this is the level where price is starting to pull back from. So looking at this, slight bullish engulfing forming. But I believe if you look at it from this perspective, that price is likely just setting up. It's likely setting up for a deeper pullback before we get more drop based off looking at the monthly. All right, looking at that monthly time frame. So we could see AU hold support here and possibly set up for a bigger move up before any more potential downside. All right. So I do believe we can be short-term bulls going into this week. Price found support here, is holding. We probably will see this set up to continue this week, early this week, and see how things develop once we get that bigger pullback around here. Because around these structure levels, if it pulls up here, I'll be looking for price to potentially reject. All right. So we'll just react. We'll just react to price, use the dollar index for added influence, and just trade in line with it. Gold. So same thing on gold. We can see on gold, we had a nice bearish rejection. All right. Not too much of it of an engulfing, but a strong rejection on a monthly. All right. So if we look at this now, even on a weekly, strong rejection. So if we see here on the weekly, had a nice bullish engulfing close right here. All right. So I am short term going into this week. I am bullish going to start the week. We're seeing a pullback. Price pulled down roughly into this level of support. And now it's holding. Bullish engulfing on a weekly. Nice close going up on a daily here, right? Nice bullish close. So now if we break this down, top down, we can see it just broke above this level of structure. So I would look at this from this perspective, right? It's breaking above that lower high. All right. So what I would say is a nice pullback or retest of that will be ideal. If we could get something like this, right? Something like that, I would look for price to stay above this wick, this exhaustion. All right. And look for something similar to this. All right. And catch this wave up. All right. So that's gold. I'll wait for a pullback or retest for the continuation up. GA last on my list. GA, if we look at this on a monthly, we do got a bullish engulfing on a monthly. Looking at this. All right. But just how I showed you that short term, I'm looking for AU to push up. That's showing all strength. And same thing with GA. I'm looking for or short term sell off. All right. Because we look at this on the weekly as well. We have a nice rejection here on the weekly showing price exhaustion. So I am looking for this to set up to continue to give us a fall before any more continued buys based off the monthly and based off of that strong level that it held. All right. So if we could look at this, this will go in line perfectly with AU, but also Australian dollar rates. So I would be patient, and let's react to what price is showing us, because rate statements tend to really bring high volatility, high volume into the market. All right, so keep that in mind. So we can see this, but just looking at it from a technical perspective, in VIP, I actually called this out. I called this out, and I actually can show you here. If you look, I called this out in VIP. All right, right here. Let's see, so you can see how that look. I told everyone to sell around 1.7797. It pulled down about 13 or 14 pips shy of 97. Of my 97 pip target at 1.77. All right. So it gave us about 70-ish pips. All right. So those that took that should have been able to secure some profit. And just looking at it from a technical perspective, we could see here that price rejected here on the 4-hour, nice evening star rejection. But if we look to the left, it rejected from a previous level of structure. Right? Nice fall. But also where it just broke down, now it just broke down below a level of structure. Looking to the left, all right, this was a nice level of supply in the past. All right, price just broke below that. Looking to the left, that level was also a nice level of demand in the past. So these are your strongest levels of structure, where in the past it was nice levels of demand and became nice levels of resistance or supply. So now we broke below that, and it's now pulling back for a potential retest. We broke below that initially. We caught this on this pullback or retest, and it fell down, making a lower low here. So now this looks to be setting up for potential another retest of this structure, setting up. I'm looking for this to set up for a bigger wave down. All right. Targets roughly around this level of support. Okay. It's based off the monthly. This is likely just, a bigger pullback before the next big bullish wave. So I look to take profit around this level of support, around 1.763-ish type area. All right. So we'll see how price develop on that earlier in the week. That could be just a follow through from last week. Be sure to like and subscribe. I hope you all got value from this. Keep in mind, the promo is still going. It's going to be over on March 15th. If you tap in, you sign up with the broker, everything's going to be in the bio. You can tap into VIP in the Discord for free for the signals, for the sessions, for 6 months. All right. So just hit me up if you have any questions. You can also tap into the free Telegram. I do post consistent setups in there as well. And I'll see y'all on the next one.